Yeah. Welcome back to the strategic management class. Now we are discussing about that strategy formulation unit. In this unit, we already discussed about like what is a strategy, and then marketing strategy, in which we discussed about marketing definition, then market and product development, then push and pull strategy, then distribution, about the distribution system in marketing, and then pricing strategy. So after that, in the last class also we discussed about the financial strategies, which includes like forecasting, like what determines the well-being of an organization. In other sense, what is things which shows how good your business is doing, like a balance sheet. We also discussed about leverage buyout and ROE, that is return on asset, and ROE, return on equity. And then we started with research and development. So as we mentioned in a earlier class, R&D is a very important for companies, especially multinational companies. So this investment in R&D will lead to new technological innovations in terms of products, in terms of processes. So if a business wants to be a technological leader, and then they want to increase their market share, thereby becoming a market leader, so investing in R&D is very, very important. Now we see about the difference between a technological leadership and a technological followership. So cost advantage, if a leader, technological leader, they are the pioneer, the lower cost of production design. Be the first down the learning curve and create low cost ways of performing value activities, because they are invested in R&D, so this is possible for them. Whereas if you don't invest, a business don't invest in R&D, then the lower the cost of product or value activities by learning from the leader's experience. So they cannot do anything. They have to just follow the leader. The cost may be very less, but increasing in market share may not be possible. So they avoid research and development cost through imitation of the technological leader. Then differentiation, pioneer as a unique product that increases buyer values, innovate in other activities to increase buyer values. Whereas the technological followers, they have to adapt the product or delivery system more closely to the buyer needs by learning from the leader experience. So in other words, if a business want to be a technological leader, they have to participate in extensive research and development, or they have only chance to follow the leader. Then we go to the next topic, which is a production and operation strategy. This is very important. So whatever the feedback given by the marketing, it is implemented in the production and operation strategy. So the production and operation strategy is related to production system, operational planning and control, and logistic management. So in this topic, we discuss about production and operation. And since logistic is a very big topic, we also discuss in a separate topic. The market to be served and the manner in which market has to be served. How the market means, how the customers are target market, our customers are served. So first we go to production system. The production system is concerned with the capacity, the capacity of the company to produce a particular product, and then location, where it is located. Either it want to be located in the city, where the access to the customers and the other facilities are available, or the production location should be in the countryside or suburban area. So layout of the production unit, product or service design includes in the production system. work system, I mean the workflow, degree of automation. Automation means to what extent there is going to be a machinery, and to what extent there will be a manual. Manual means people working on that. Either it is like 100% automated from input of raw materials to output of the completed or full product is going to be automated. In that case, it is fully automated, or it's a partially. Partially means in sense the partially the machine will produce, after that labors are processing. So degree of automation, the extent of vertical integration means to what extent the business is going to be their own supplier, that is go backward, the business themselves become their own supplier of raw materials. So strategies related to production system are significant as they deal with vital issues affecting the capability of the organizations to achieve its objectives. So operation strategy. Operation serves as a firm distinctive competence in executing similar strategies better than the competitors. So what happens? They have to be a actually, the competency mentioned here. Competency is a combination of skills, knowledge, attitude of their employees. That's a human resource. So they have to have better and different competency, okay, than the competitors, so that the output is also quite differentiated from the competitors product. It provides support for differentiated strategy. So differentiated strategy means the way they serve the customer. It may be the process of serving the product to the customer, or it may be the product itself, or the features of the product. All those things are involved in the differentiated strategy. So operation strategy is to ensure all tasks are performed or the right task. Okay, so there is nothing wrong in the system or the processes. It is a plan for design and management of operation functions. So this operation strategy will be like a guidelines for taking the right action, okay, taking the right steps in the right process. Types of operation strategy. Vertical integration is where the supply chain of company is owned by that company. Supply chain means right from the I mean supply of raw materials for producing the product, okay, and then taking this product to the customers. So all these things are called supply chain. Okay, so a company can become their own supplier of the raw materials to the company. The same business can also own the chain of channels, how the product is taken from the business to the customers. Themselves can become the distributor. So that is a vertical integration. This is an expansion strategy, business expansion strategy. So what happens if a business becomes their own supplier of raw materials and own distributor themselves? Then what happens? Cost is saved, and they will become more professional, and it is also a kind of expansion of the business. So to stay here, what kind of strategic decision a business would consider? So how much work should be done outside the firm? I mean, externally, what are the things they need to do? Like having collaboration with the people like FedEx, I mean, Amazon.com. What happens? They have, collaboration with FedEx, which is a courier company. So what happened? The FedEx is a very professional, delivery company or courier company. So what happens? The professionalism or the promises made by Amazon in delivering the product is well maintained by the FedEx courier company. So this kind of collaboration is called the external collaborations. So what happens when we business do, they may also think whether the distributors, either they can become their own distributor, which is a vertical integration, or they look for very professional distributor channels and then have collaboration with them, so that the products are delivered to the customers in their convenient locations, at the right time. So on what basis should particular item be made in-house? Okay, so in-house means either the product is going to be produced 100% or manufactured 100% in the factory, or it is like the components are produced, maybe it is transported to, especially for a faraway location, it is what I say, it is transported and there it is assembled. Maybe the place where it is going to be distributed, it may be cheaper labor, so it can be assembled there. So those kinds of decisions also need to be considered. When should item be outsourced? Outsourced means certain things can be outsourced. Okay, certain things can be in-house. So which one is like we need to see the cost when we think about outsourcing, cost and efficiency of the business themselves, or if there is available in the market a better a person or a company which can do better in a cost and a very professional way. So in that way, in that it is, if it is cheaper outside or economical outside, we can outsource it. So how should suppliers be selected and what basis the suppliers should be selected? So these are the decisions a business should take in terms of when they are doing the what do you say, when they are thinking of I mean operation strategies. Here the example is given in this image, type of operation strategies. So like it's automobile one. Here we can see commodity producers. Commodity means spare parts for a car. Okay, it may be a tire, it may be a door. Okay, so all these parts, brake, all those things. So and then what happens, suppliers. Okay, so what happens, they give to the supplier who supply to the car manufacturer. So what happens, sometimes this car manufacturer, that's a business, they themselves become the supplier. They buy from the components of the producer and then they supply to their own unit and also to the sometimes competitors. Once the product is produced in the production unit, then it is given to the car importers. Okay, and then after that garage owners, then it goes to the customers. So what happens here, a business is going one step backward. That means they are manufacturers of a car, they become their own supplier. So that is called backward integration. This is all vertical integration. So when they go backward, then it's called backward vertical integration, backward integration in other terms. And they become the manufacturer of the car, becomes their own car importers. In other words, they import to the or import or export to the other countries, and then they, so what happens, they become the own importer. So what happens, they are going forward integration one step, and then they also like a garage owners or like they have a retail showroom, so it is going to reach the customer. So here in this example, they are going one step backward, that is a backward integration, and two step forward, which is called forward integration, as a car importer and a garage owner. Again, how many steps they want to go backward or forward, it depends upon their vision, mission, their competencies. Okay, so all this will help to decide how many steps they want to go backward and forward. Okay, so this is as we discussed earlier, this is an expansion, good expansion for a business. Types of operation strategy, CAD and CAM principles. Computer-aided designs is called CAD, involves creating computer models as three-dimensional representation of a part or system of parts, which can be readily altered by changing relevant parameters. So a CAD, which is an computer-aided design, it's a very, breakthrough in the technology. So it helps them to get an idea of like a three-dimensional or full view of the design of it may be a electronic item, or it can be an automobile or any set of things. So CAD system enable designers to view objectives under a wide variety of representation and test these objects by stimulating real world conditions. So what happens, before manufacturing itself, they use this CAD CAD model to view all the 360-degree angle, okay, from three, and see how it is, suitable for the real world conditions through these simulations. So computer-aided manufacturer uses geometrical design data to control automated machinery. So this also helps in production of a thing through automation, computer automation. Then again, the types of operation strategy, continuous improvement strategy. These are more concerned with the quality of the product. Okay, so how like in features of the product, then what happens in producing the product or processing the product. So how we can improve. Okay, this is like a quality one. So continuous improvement strategy is a policy or processes within a workplace that help keep the focus on improving the way things are done on a regular basis. Okay, so every day we are indulging in the operation. So how can we improve in the day-to-day operations? So how do we get inputs? The inputs we can get from the people who are working at the bottom level. People who are really, implementing the vision or mission or are involved in the day-to-day activities. They will go give input. Okay, and then what happens? The engineers who are like supervisors, they also can give input. They, the staff members who are involved in the day-to-day operation, they can have like what do you say, like what do you say, like discussions, brainstorming sessions. So this can give more idea on improving on regular basis. This could be through regular incremental improvement or by focusing on achieving larger process improvements. So what happens? This will initiate. Like with regular or ongoing improvement in a production process or in serving our customers, little by little or gradually can give a very substantial changes. Okay, in the quality. So next one is a product life cycle, like how a human goes through a life cycle, like a birth, then we grow, then we mature, then we die. Same like that, a product also goes through a life cycle. But when we die means we literally die as a human being, but for a product they don't really die. So they may undergo some changes in the future, or any type of changes in the packaging or any areas, and then it will be reintroduced. Then again it will go through the like introduction growth stages. So that is called a product life cycle. A product life cycle uh, is the amount of time a product goes through from being introduced into the market until it's taken off the shelves. In other words, okay, it is no more, offered for sales. As I mentioned, there will be some, what do you say, substantial changes or slight changes, and they will be reintroduced. There are four stages in a product life cycle. That is introduction. Okay, so after usually after R&D, they will be introduced. A product is produced or a new product is innovated, then it is introduced. That's the introduction stage. Then what happens? Then it will gradually grow. So during this growth time, they have to do aggressive, what is it, promotions and advertisements. So once they started growing, then they gradually they reduce. After that, it reaches the maturity. Okay, where the sales will be very steady. After that, after some time, the demand for the product may go down. So what happened? It will start gradually. It will decline. Okay, so at the time of decline, they remove it. They add some changes. They are again reintroduce, or they innovate a new product or a new feature, and then they again reintroduce. We will see in the next slide. Here we see the continuous. This is for the continuous improvement cycle. First, identify the opportunities in the process of workflow, and then plan how can the current processes be improved. This is first identifying, then planning, execute, implement changes. Okay, so identifying, as I told you, can be done by the people who are like a layman, okay, who are really working, okay, and then what happens, and also by brainstorming. Then after that, it goes to the planning. Okay, usually a facilitator, like a supervisor, will sit with their people, and then they plan how they can do the improve based on their identification of fault or improvement and all those things. Then after, once they have planned, it's a time to execute. After executing, they see how the changes has made the product or the processes better. So that's a review. Then again, identify it's a cycle. That's a continuous improvement cycle. Now we see the image for the product life cycle. So here we can see, before introduction, they produce or develop a product or innovate a product. So that's a innovation. Then it is launch. That's the introduction. Once it is, then you can see the growth cycle, little bit slow. In growth, it will grow very drastically. Then after that, maturity, the growth is not that much, but it goes a little bit steady. Then after some time, what happens? It declines. Then it comes down. Then we will discuss about the logistic strategy in the next class. That's all for this class. Thank you.